The price of Bitcoin failed to break out last night, currently trading at $23,015. I'm going to explain to you in today's video exactly what I'm expecting next for the price of Bitcoin. We're also going to look at altcoins in today's video, a couple of them in particular that I've got open trades on. And of course, we're going to be talking about the price of XTP and where we're expecting that to head over the course of the next week. So if you are interested in any of that, then please do slap a like on today's video. Subscribe to the channel. I would sincerely appreciate it. Drop a like and subscribe down below. Today's like goal is 700 likes, so let's do that. And at the same time, if you would subscribe, that'd be fantastic. We're trying to hit 100,000 subscribers on this channel this year. But anyway, first things first, this is currently the price of Bitcoin. Bitcoin came down over the course of the past 24-hour period, and now we've entered back into the green zone here on the VWAP, so we are technically expecting a bounce to the upside. I kind of expect a fairly flat weekend this weekend, as I explained in my live stream just last night. The reason why I expect a flat weekend is because essentially Bitcoin probably isn't going to open a CME gap this weekend. If you actually look at where the CME gap is currently sat, if we just refresh this page right here, the current CME gap is, come on, go, there we go, $23,260. Which means that essentially it's highly likely that before the end of the weekend, the actual CME gap actually rises back to the upside. I've actually got a couple of big bills that I need to pay within the next kind of 24, 48 hours, and I'm going to try and delay them until Monday. And the reason I'm going to try and delay them until Monday is because I still think there's a fairly decent chance that we actually break quite significantly to the upside on Monday. So I'm just putting off a couple of things right now in the hope and in the expectation that we do rally to the upside. Otherwise, I mean, the downside, I'd just rather take it and pay the bill if we do dump to the downside. But at the same time, I do more so expect a pump to the upside. So in terms of my current open trades, what do I have open right now? Well, we've got a few in a loss and a few in a profit. So let's discuss how it's looking. The Ethereum trade is now $3,300 in a loss. The Algorand trade cancels that out by being $3,600 in a profit. The Bluezell trade is back at break even. The Binance trade, I don't understand why this is never even moving in price. The Bitcoin trade that you see here is now $10,300 in a profit. Again, it's just been around this for so long now. At the same time, we have the Phantom trade right here. The Phantom trade is now $5,000 in a profit. This one is the CHAINLINK trade, and then this one is the UNFI trade. So combined between all of those trades right now, it's down about $21,000. Now, yesterday, that were up about $30,000. So it's down about 33% over the course of the past few hours. And that's because alts are stalling right now. I like to see it when alts are stalling. Let me show you how an alt stall looks like. This is basically the top losers out of the top 100 coins. And I'm viewing this data on cryptosavingexpert.com. Again, you're not allowed to go there yet. Please hold off. I know I keep showing it, but please don't go there yet. Anyway, looking at this right now, FTX is the top loser over the course of the past 24 hours, being down 8%. But scrolling down here, you'll see that's why my Phantom trade is no longer $10,000 in profit. In fact, it's $5,000 in profit because the price came down from around 50 cents to about 45 cents. But I actually feel like right now, looking at the price of Phantom, there is some fairly decent entries to be had. If we look at the overall price of Phantom right now, of course, Phantom is down bad. But if you look at it on a smaller time frame, like the hourly, and you'll see that essentially we've had a full retrace. Now, in all of these runs up recently, Phantom's price retraces and then pumps to the upside, retraces and then pumps to the upside, retraces and then boom, straight to the upside in theory. Looking at where we sat with these volume candles right now on the price of Phantom, if I bring this all the way over here, essentially in order to confirm a breakout, it needs to break above this level right here, which is currently sitting at about 49.72. So basically, Phantom needs to break above 50 cents in order to confirm that breakout. Currently set at 45 cents. From my perspective, there is a fairly good speculative long position that could potentially be opened right now from my perspective. And I may even increase the size of my Phantom trade. I mean, I did reduce it before. I might actually increase it at this point, being that if we do, again, go back to that 49 cent level, which I do feel is quite realistic, given how Bitcoin is performing right now. I mean, just look at Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin on the daily chart. We have this constant upwards momentum, sideways, upwards momentum, sideways. And then in theory, when we break through that final level of resistance right there, we should have some very nice upwards momentum again. Now, I'm still expecting the run up to $28,000. If it doesn't happen, let me be able to tell you how we know if the $28,000 run up is not going to happen. That's the next thing that we need to discuss. And for that, we need to go over to the 4-hour chart right here. So we can kind of get a bit of perspective over what's going on right now on a slightly higher time frame. So looking at this right now, we've got a very clear level of which Bitcoin cannot fail below. And that will be this level right here. Look, if Bitcoin starts trading below the level here of 22,000, call it $500 to be honest, $22,500. At that point, I would say, look, it's highly likely that we're going to fail and we're going to drop back down to this next level of support down here, which would be basically a retest of the previous high. I don't really expect that scenario, but the way that we'll be able to tell that and the way that we're able to trade that is basically waiting for a break below $22,500. At that point, opening a mild short position down to this level right here, which is set at $21,300, and then closing and taking profits at around $21,300. At the same time as that, I would then be opening a long position around about $21,300 because, again, my bullish sentiment would not change even if we were to get that drop down in price. I would still remain fairly bullish on the price of Bitcoin and expect to break out fairly soon. So that's what we're expecting when it comes to Bitcoin. Of course, the break of the high, I kind of expect to come tomorrow. And the reason for that would be, look at this and how it's performing right now. We have a lot of angles looking like this. But at the same time, we have a wick up here, a wick up here. And if you look at where the CME gap is going to close, which is, if we go back to the page right now, so I can get my numbers completely correct, it's $23,260 going back to the price of Bitcoin. Where is $23,260? Well, $23,260 is exactly here. When is this point in time? This point in time is Sunday, the 29th of January at 8 o'clock in the morning. But if we go forward just a little bit, that would mean that essentially by Monday, which would be the breakout day, essentially Bitcoin, in order to close the CME gap this weekend, has to break above this resistance level, meaning that that seems fairly likely that we actually break out at about 1 o'clock in the morning on Sunday night, or rather Monday morning, UK time. So that's kind of what I'm expecting, to be honest. It's why I want to leave my long positions open right now. The rationale behind it seems to make quite a lot of sense to me, even though it's a theory that I've come up with on my own and I've not seen anyone else perpetuating this. And actually, I see quite a lot of YouTubers out there going, it's time to short, it's time to short. It's that I just don't agree with them. And I feel like I saw that exact same sentiment last time round when Bitcoin was $13,000 and everyone's going, it's time to short, it's time to short, it's time to short. And then Bitcoin goes up to $22,000 in the span of just a few days. Don't write off these things. The market has changed more than what people expect it has changed. The FOMC is also going to speak next week. So we probably will run up to the FOMC meeting because people are expecting more good news. Don't write off a Bitcoin pump right now. It seems awfully realistic. And that is why I maintain all of these positions right here. Should I be wrong, ultimately, there is scope within this for me to lose another 10k off here, not really be all that bothered, and just kind of average more down into these positions right here. But I intend on leaving most of this open. Of course, if you are interested in trading, please do check out link to BYBIT and BitGet in today's video description. Both fantastic exchanges. That's where I do the bulk of my volume and the bulk of my trading. So check those out. I'm currently acquiring as well, as I pointed out in previous streams, I'm currently acquiring quite a fair bit of this token here, the BGB coin. All of the money that I earn trading through BitGet, I then put straight into BGB coin because I want to acquire a fairly decent sized bag of it before it runs up in price. As I pointed out before, one of the best place to buy BGB coin with the lowest of fees, because it's 0 fee, is on BitGet. And for that, you'll find a link in today's video description. And if you use that link, you get $15 for free that's deposited into your account on a Friday. Now, back to the charts right now. It's time to discuss TAP. Tap my favorite cryptocurrency, and also tap that like button. Thank you very much. And also tap that subscribe button. Again, thank you very much. XTP, what an amazing coin. Volume drop off a little bit over the weekend, to be expected. Currently the price of the coin, 67 Satoshis. Been trading sideways pretty much all week this week. Good to see some nice price consolidation at a higher level. This means that the average buy price that people are in right now is getting higher. In fact, it's just increasing in price now up to 68 Satoshis. Looking at the current order book on the price of TAP, there's really not that much sell volume going on right now. There's not a whole lot of people that actually want to sell. And in terms of the buy volume, it seems pretty much in terms of, like, they're pretty much in equilibrium. The sell volume and the buy volume are pretty equal. But I'm expecting some more catalysts to come on the price of TAP next week that I believe will take the price well above 100 Satoshis. The target is no longer 100 Satoshis. The target is now significantly above 100 Satoshis, given the catalysts that I expect to take place over the course of the next 1 to 2 weeks. And then after that, there should be another catalyst as well, but we'll get to that in the future. So I'm still very bullish on the price of TAP. I still hold all my TAP. And I really do think that in the long term, TAP will reach probably over 1,000 Satoshis. I still really think there's a lot of scope for growth within this over the course of the next few months with the USA launch coming up and a bunch of other things that I know that they're working on in terms of products, features, all that kind of thing. So I remain insanely bullish on the price of TAP. So having covered TAP, having covered BGB, and of course, having covered the price of Bitcoin, we're expecting a fairly sideways end to the weekend and then a little pump up on Sunday night to close this CME gap. But that would also coincide with a break, depending on where it is. So essentially, this is midnight. This candle right here, this would be midnight right here. But that, if we look on the chart where that would be $23,110. Being where the CME gap is, which is about here, where I've just drawn this green dot, where that green dot is, that's where the CME gap currently sits. And so with the CME gap currently sitting there, it means that we have to technically break out in order to close out the CME gap. So do potentially expect a rather large run up on Sunday night. That could be the night. I mean, I'll be staying up very late on Sunday to watch all of that action take place, and I assume you guys will be as well. So on that note, guys, please do slap a like on today's video. Don't forget, we're trying to get 700 likes on today's video. Thank you very much for watching, and of course, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.